Hey, what's up guys? So for this video, I'm going to be talking about the apology Idubbbz has made to Ethan Klein, and this video is called Apologizing to Ethan. That's the video Idubbbz has made recently. So let's go ahead and react to the video.
Hello everyone, I am going to be talking about a very important and heavy topic for me. If you're unfamiliar with the context of any of this, I'll give you a brief rundown, but that is not the main purpose of this video. I do think it's important to share a little bit of my side of the story, but I don't want to take away from the purpose of this video, and that is to apologize to Ethan Klein and his family, especially his kids. Basically, Ethan is suing me for having rebroadcasted a statement made by Destiny on my stream. I did display the very disgusting comment for 40 minutes, and it was wrong.
I'm going to have to stop Ian here and just ask, it took Ian getting a lawsuit from his former friend, Ethan Klein. Well, first it was a cease and desist, and Idubbbz made a fake, shitty apology on his live stream. Then he got a lawsuit, and now he's forced to make this genuine apology. Because he just discovered that making slanderous claims and supporting slanderous claims about Ethan Klein will get him a lawsuit. Idubbbz really has fallen off so much that he doesn't use his common sense to realize pushing these false allegations will get him a lawsuit. Also, when Idubbbz was live streaming with that shitty Dragon VTuber model that he shortly afterwards ditched because nobody liked it, he basically highlighted Destiny's comment of Ethan Klein molesting his own children and he's a pedophile, which all of those are false. Icox did all of that out of pure spite, and look where it led him.
It was a comment from Destiny, and I even said that I don't agree with it, but it sort of highlights how I knew that it was a wrong thing to put out there into the universe and show people. Regardless of the point I was making, it was wrong. I was angry, and I was like, how do I get this guy to, one, not clip me, not mock me and harass me on his live stream, and two, this guy's a fucking bully. I'm angry. I'm angry that this multimillionaire is silencing people and suing people who have a much smaller audience than he does, and can barely defend themselves. And so I'm angry. I don't like bullies, so I wanted to do something that would have an impact.
And that backfired very hard, and that's all your fucking fault. You decided to push out this false allegation made by a streamer called Destiny out of pure anger because you didn't like the fact that your former friend Ethan Klein is suing Frogan, Denims, and Caseytron, even though they 100% deserve it, for stealing his content and reacting. I use that word lightly because they weren't even reacting to it, they were just, putting their face cam in the corner of the content nuke and saying not much at all. Plus, those losers were basically encouraging viewers to watch other streamers react, I use that word lightly, react to Ethan Klein's content, and that is not transformative in the slightest. You fucked yourself over harder than you think, Ian, because you tried to make an impact on Ethan Klein, but all you did was basically get yourself a lawsuit just like Frogan, Denims, and Caseytron. However, your reasoning for getting sued by Ethan Klein is much different compared to those three fucking losers. Last thing I want to mention is that Ethan Klein is not a bully for simply responding to people, calling him out, and making false allegations about him. He can respond to those people. Obviously, Ethan Klein is not going to sue people for no reason, but he will definitely sue people if they make false allegations about him, which is 100% valid. So no, Ethan Klein is not a bully for simply taking down people like Frogan, Denims, and Caseytron, because they're not good people. Also, those fucking losers start shit, then get upset when you fire back at them.
And, without checking in with myself of whether or not that was a right or wrong thing to do. I justified it in my head at the time. I was like, okay, well, it's not my words, and it's actually said by a really bad guy, Destiny. Not a fan of that guy. It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it.
And you still did it anyway. It's your fucking fault that you decided to promote this allegation, full well knowing this is a piece of shit thing to do, but you did it out of pure malice. A decent person would use their common sense and realize promoting allegations like said person is a predator and they like to molest their own children, things like that, will definitely get them in legal trouble. Ian should fuck right off when he says, I knew it was wrong, because he did it anyway, and obviously he justified it by saying, oh, it was said by somebody else, for example, Destiny. However, Idubbbz still promoted it, so he's definitely at fault for promoting this shit.
But still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do. Especially for parents. Like, there are many parents with kids out there who do not want to see that shit, and it's painful. And I'm sure it was extremely painful for Ethan and Hila to read that shit and have it pop up again and again and again. And just because it's coming from a piece of shit guy, and I'm showing it to people, like, look what this piece of shit said. It's wrong. It's wrong to do. And I didn't come to this overnight, right? Like, to be frank, I'm angry. I do not like Ethan. I think he's doing a lot of damage to people online. And it changed the way that I was thinking about it. I didn't think about it. I didn't ground myself. I didn't think about, who is actually being affected in this instance. And Ethan's family and his kids are being affected. I just because I don't like Ethan, I think it's wrong to find an attack vector that is his kids. It's foul. It's not okay. And I think it was wrong for me to use the Destiny screenshot as a cudgel to make my point.
When Idubbbz says, oh, Ethan Klein is attacking people and he was mad, Ethan Klein is attacking people who are, attacking him and making false claims about him. Ethan Klein isn't attacking people who've done nothing wrong. He's going after people who deserve to be called out from the Hassan Piker Orbiter squad, such as Badim Panada. He called out Noah Samson. He called out Idubbbz because Idubbbz decided to backstab Ethan Klein by making a content cop and content deputy on his former best friend just to fit in with the Hassan Piker squad. Luckily, that backfired very hard. Also, he called out you, Ian, because you decided to laugh at Ethan Klein having human skulls sent to his house.
I didn't need to use the Destiny screenshot to make my point. There's a million other ways I could have done it, but I didn't. And I regret that I didn't, and I regret that I ever put that screenshot on my live stream. That's the main reason why I feel like I do need, for myself, for my soul, to own up to this and acknowledge that I went too far. It wasn't okay. Ethan and Hila and their family do not deserve that. At the end of the day, whatever happens with the lawsuit is what it is. For myself, I needed to make it known on the internet that what I did was wrong, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to behave that way. I want to make content that I'm proud of. I don't want to give in to a a harassment back and forth online. I want to put my energy into making content that I can be proud of and that I'm not going to be ashamed of because I lost the plot. I want to stay focused. I want to check in with myself and know what it is I want to be and what I want to do and what message I want to spread.
Well, let's see if Mr. Late Empathy Learner will actually stick to his commitment of only making content he's proud of, instead of, responding to people that make fun of him. Example, Ethan Klein. Let's see if Idubbbz will actually, stick to just making content he's proud of.
And this isn't a message I want to spread. So I'm sorry to Ethan and Ela and your family. You guys didn't deserve that. I'm going to think about all of this a lot more, I'm sure. But for now, I really do want to just get back to making the content that I want to make. Having said all that, I wish everyone the best. I genuinely want to see a better world, and I do not want to be a contributor to what makes it terrible. So long. Bye-bye.
Alright, the video is over. I do want to give my thoughts on Idubbbz's apology to Ethan Klein, and that is, his apology is not good, in my opinion, and here are the few reasons why it's not very good. Ian didn't apologize for laughing at Ethan Klein because he had human skulls sent to his house. Ethan also got backstabbed by Ian because Idubbbz wanted to be a part of Hassan's crew, and that ultimately backfired really hard. His way of trying to own Ethan is backstabbing him by making a content cop and content deputy on him, both of which were really bad videos. And both of those videos were made just to make sure Ethan Klein was taken down despite Idubbbz making slanderous claims, plus Idubbbz calling Ethan Klein a maniac because he's reasonably crashing out over CPS visiting his house. On top of that, Ethan Klein got told by Idubbbz to get some help, which is just one of the most piece of shit things Idubbbz did to Ethan Klein when he was reasonably crashing out over CPS falsely visiting his home. And all of this was to take down Ethan Klein. Ultimately, he won. Number 2, and this is definitely the best reason why Idubbbz made this apology. His fucking succubus wife, Anissa, she definitely told him to make an apology video because both of them were going to be sued into the dirt where they both belong. Because Idubbbz and his succubus wife, Anissa, tried to fight this over and over, and because they got sued, they were like, oh shit, we have to admit fault here. Luckily for them, well, Ethan Klein has announced in the pinned comment of this video Idubbbz made apologizing to him, Ethan Klein said this: "Hi Ian, I appreciate the thoughtful apology, it means a lot. I've instructed my attorneys to drop the lawsuit entirely." I really don't think Ethan Klein should drop the lawsuit against Idubbbz. I really do think he should have went full fucking force and sued Idubbbz into the dirt where he belongs, alongside Anissa, regardless if Idubbbz makes a genuine apology or not. So when Idubbbz and Anissa got that comment on Idubbbz's video from Ethan Klein, they were definitely like, oh, thank goodness. I do want to ask, where the hell is Enes Jamha throughout this apology? Like, whenever both Ian and Anissa are promoting false allegations about Ethan Klein, Anissa is present, but whenever Idubbbz has to make an apology towards Ethan Klein, Enes is just absent. Like, this bitch dishes it out, but the second she has to admit fault and defeat, Idubbbz just has to do it on her behalf, because she is allergic to self-reflection and accountability. Now, Idubbbz's succubus wife, Enes Jamha, did respond to Idubbbz' apology video to Ethan Klein in 2 tweets. I will give my thoughts on both of them after I've read both of them to you. Please do not apply US laws to the Canadian courts. Canada's legal system encourages genuine self-reflection and earnest apologies. Please trust that what is being done is what feels right. Ian's apology was not done to avoid the lawsuit. It was done because he felt like it was something he wanted to do for himself. Ian definitely didn't apologize because it was the right thing to do. He definitely apologized because you, Anas Jamhar, decided to force him to apologize when what you could have done is, humbled him and told him, don't promote these false allegations because it will get you in legal trouble. She definitely forced him to apologize to Ethan Klein because both of them realized they were going to be completely nuked in court. I mean, yes, Idubbbz and Anissa are fucking broke. Ethan Klein suing them and winning the lawsuit would definitely put both of them in debt, putting their financial situation in a much worse position than they currently are already in. Also, if Anas Jamhar says otherwise, I'm just not going to believe her with anything she spews out of her putrid vocal cords, because she's a liar. The last thing I want to discuss is a tweet from Kavos. Anissa is truly a nightmare. I actually feel sorry for Idubbbz that he chose her. I don't agree with Kavos because Idubbbz chose to still stay with Anissa, despite Anissa being a red flag, a huge red flag, and a danger to everybody that chooses to date her retarded ass, because she will destroy everything she touches because she is a human parasite. So no, I don't feel sorry for Idubbbz because he knew all of this and his former friends tried to warn him about Anas Jamhar, even his former fans that Idubbbz denounced, but he didn't listen to them, and look where it led him. He's with a self-destructive, abusive piece of shit partner such as Anas Jamhar, and he still refuses to divorce her retarded ass because he doesn't have a spine to do so. He just lets her dictate what he likes, what he doesn't like, who he hangs out with, who he doesn't hang out with, what he does, etc. She is just an abusive piece of shit, and Idubbbz just simply puts up with it. Nobody can help eBay Idubbbz get out of that abusive marriage he is in, because he doesn't at least try to get out of this abusive marriage. He doesn't listen to people whenever they tell him Anissa is a danger to your life. You need to get out of there now. It's simply his fault for not listening to people warning him about her being a dangerous individual. Also, another thing I didn't like about the apology is there is a lot of dead air. What I mean by that is whenever Idubbbz would say something, there would be like a little bit of a pause, and that pause happened quite a lot. Then he would resume with whatever he wanted to say afterwards, but it was quite annoying that Idubbbz had lots of pauses in his apology video. It really sucked. He really should have cut that all out. Anyway, that will be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you have enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Idubbbz' apology isn't all that great. Anyway, take care everyone.